Hi, everybody. I wanted to do a video on how to set up an event. Okay, so there are two different types of events that you can do with OneHope, and they are a virtual event or an in-person event. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing today is sharing my screen and showing you how to set up both of those events so that you can start your first tastings. Okay, so I know a lot of people have been doing virtual events, but maybe you're not so sure how to do a in-person event. So let me go ahead and first share with you the difference between the two. And virtual event is where you, as the host, or someone else as the host, it could be a nonprofit, it could be a friend, a family member, um, anybody could virtually gather friends and you would do a tasting that way. So that could consist of you doing it on Facebook. So you could go live on Facebook through a group. You would set up a group, and that's very simple to do. And then you could go live on Facebook. People could either pre-order their wine or just listen to you share more about each wine. And that could just be a Facebook group. And then you could break it up in chunks where you do maybe one wine a day throughout the entire Facebook group event. Or you could do Zoom. So you could do a Zoom event. If you, it's a free account, you can just create a Zoom event. And there's a lot of different methods of meeting people virtually, but Zoom is just one that I prefer to use. Anything that's under 40 minutes is free. So you can create your free Zoom account and create a Zoom meeting. So you would just title the Zoom meeting, you would select a date, a time, and then you would share that link with people, and you would just hop on and share wine. So you could do the same thing using your tasting note cards where you are reading about the vintner wines. So even if you do not have wine on hand, you could meet with any wine you have on hand, and you could share about OneHope wines. You could use this, go through the entire script. This is way more cards than you would need. But it actually shares with you a history of OneHope. It shares with you our opportunities. It shares a ton of different things. And you would just use this and go through this script, talk socially, maybe throw in some wine trivia, which is actually in this deck of cards. And if you don't have this, it's printable in our help center and index. It's called the Winemaker's Notes, and I will show you those in a bit. But all you have to do really is just read it. Okay. So having no wine is not an excuse for having an event. You can do it. The other option for a virtual event is our tasting flight. So our tasting flight, I'm going to show you real quick, is, I'm going to get this big guy here. It comes in a nice big box, and I love this because it's so beautifully packaged. It comes in this big box and nicely covered. And it looks like this. So they're going to get this nice cover. It's going to come with a pamphlet all about OneHope. And then it's going to come with 4 wines. So it comes with these 4 wines, and they are our mini size bottles of our 4 of our Vintner Collection award-winning wines. And that would be the Sparkling Brut, the Vintner Chardonnay, the Vintner Pinot Noir, and the Vintner Cab. Okay, so that's enough for 2 people to taste. The cost of that is $29 plus, and they get a $15 coupon to then use on any 4-bottle or more purchase through the event. Okay, so through the entire date of the event. All right, so that's the difference. You can either choose to use that virtual kit when doing a virtual tasting, or you can have people hop on with their own wine or pre-order full-size bottles. It's really up to you and your host. Okay. The other option is to do an in-person tasting. Now, an in-person tasting can be a lot of things. I'm going to do a whole separate video just on in-person tastings. But again, same thing. You're just going to use your deck of cards and you're going to share about our wines. Okay, but in person. And there's a lot of fun themes that you can do. Check out another video for me sharing all about in-person tastings. So that's just a quick recap of what the 2 differences between those different events are. Now you can do it in person or a virtual tasting with anyone. So check your wine not list to see all the people that might be, in your circle, or people that are friends of friends or family that you know. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to share with you all about your dashboard and how to create an event. So let me get going with this. So the way that I go ahead and I do this is I go to onehopewine.com. Okay. Now, when I go to onehopewine.com, I'm going to move this little piece up here. If you're not sure what your website is, you can click Find My CE and type your name in, but you're going to go ahead and click Sign In. Then, depending on how you joined OneHope is how you're going to select this next option. So if you joined with an email address, you're going to select that. Facebook, I always encourage my team members to join with Google or an email address. So I joined with Google. So I'm going to go ahead and select Google, select my Google account, and it's going to take me right to my site. And this is called your dashboard. Once you get to your dashboard, you're going to see a variety of different things. And I'm going to be doing a separate training video all about navigating your dashboard and your back office. But for the purposes of this one, we are going over how to create an event. So I described the two different ways that you can do an event. So I'm going to go ahead and click on events. Now, if you chose to use your phone, now the only thing you need your phone for or the computer for is to join OneHope. You can do absolutely everything else right from your phone. So I'm going to show you real quick by looking at my phone. When you log on to the computer, you will see this black sidebar menu right here, which is going to pop up with all these options. When you're looking at it from a phone, you're going to see something a little bit different. So you're going to see it looks like this. There is 3 lines that go horizontal, and it looks just like this, which I'm circling in the video. It's in the top corner. So it's the top left-hand corner. I'm sorry, you can't see that. The top left-hand corner of your phone. So it's right up there in the corner. If you're on your phone, you're going to go ahead and click that. And that's when you're going to see the same black drop-down menu that you see on my computer. So you will be able to see both of those options, whether you do this from a phone or a computer. So the next thing you're going to click is events. So you're going to go ahead and click events. And you can see here that I have a bunch of events set up. You can have as many different events set up as you wish. And that's quite all right. I always recommend having your own event link set up every single month because you then are able to reap all the benefits, double dip, triple dip on all the benefits, meaning your host rewards, which is your 10% back when your event reaches $500 or more. You as the host will get 10% back in reward points to spend once you close that event and it's over $500. The other thing that you will get is your choice of a nonprofit to give back to, another 10%, and that comes from OneHope, not your paycheck. So here what we're going to see is the top here, you're going to always see your new online event to support the Why Hunger has been created. So every single month, OneHope has already pre-created an event link for you. So if you don't want the choice of your own nonprofit to give back to, but you want it to be your particular event, you can actually use this. So you can click on that, and it's a specific event that OneHope, I said, has been created for you, and it's linked to your account. So you can go ahead and you can select the top here, this bar, the web browser address. That's the link then that you would want to share with people. Then your customers, this is what they will see. So shop to support the cause and share. So you can see that OneHope has a group fundraiser goal of $560,000 goal. So they're very, very, very close to that. So I'm going to exit that. So if you'd like to participate in that, you can always share that link. Now, to go back to this one, the way that you create an event is you're going to go to this black box up here in the corner and click Create New Event. After that, I'm going to go through both options here with you so you can see the difference. So first, we're going to do an in-person event. And remember, that's if you're physically tasting wine with people, face-to-face. So in person, so if you are contacting a nonprofit directly and you're doing a nonprofit fundraiser with that nonprofit, you would select a nonprofit. If it's somebody other than yourself, another contact, you would select a contact. And if it's somebody who is already a customer, you can search in the contact's name and bring up their information. If it's not, you're going to click add new contact, along with the event title, which could be very simple. It could be, Jenna's virtual wine tasting fundraiser. If you're doing a themed event, it could be something along those lines. Like I'm doing a bunch of sangria and sips. So I would call it Jenna's Sangria and Sips tasting fundraiser. So you would put their address and the time and the date. Make sure when you put the time in here, you see where it says 0600. A lot of people get stuck. You have to put that 0 before the time in there. So if you know it's 8 o'clock, it needs to say 0800, just to give you a heads up. So I'm going to click I am hosting. So that is if you're doing your own fundraiser. And remember what I said, every single person, if you're a CE, should have their own fundraiser running every single month. And that's because you then can funnel all of the wine purchases, including your own wine purchases that you get commission back on as well, through your own event link. Anything that's not associated with another party, you can put towards your own event link and get the wine rewards from it. Get your own give back to your nonprofit that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start creating this. This month, I am going to be doing a really fun one. National Sushi Day is June 18th. So I am doing a sushi and sips tasting. So it's really fun, right? So we are pairing sushi with some different wines. Now I am going to search for my location and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put in my address here. Okay, so there we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and put the date. So we have Friday or June 18th, and we're going to do 6:30. Okay, so I have PM and Eastern Standard Time. Then all you do is select next. For our nonprofit, you have a couple different options. You could select a ONEHOPE cause partner, and that's just the causes that we support through every single bottle. So when you do any sort of tasting, every single bottle is going toward the 501c3 organizations that ONEHOPE chooses through our ONEHOPE Foundation. And that would be any of these that are listed here below. Okay. So I'm going to then just choose one. I am going to be actually going back and adding one in here. But for right now, I'm just going to select ONEHOPE Foundation. If we want to choose our own nonprofit, it can be any 501c3. So that could be a club, a school. It could be a nonprofit, anything that's not listed in that drop-down menu. All you need to do is search for it. And 9 times out of 10, it's already going to be listed in this nonprofit name. One that I personally love to give back to is March of Dimes. And you can see already, it's already in the system. So I'm going to go and put that on there and it's going to kind of populate and fill that out. If it's an organization that someone has not given back to, all you need is their name, their address, and their tax ID number, which is their EIN number. There's lots of ways you can Google that. You can go on their site. You can contact the organization. There is an actual website that searches tax ID numbers for nonprofits, and I'd be happy to help you find that as well. You do not have to put a donation goal, but just to give you an idea, for every dollar that is spent, you get 10% back in donations for any amount that is towards that party. So there is no minimum amount that has to be sold in order to give back to your organization. So for instance, an average tasting is $500. That means that nonprofit is going to get a $50 donation. I love to go big and choose 100. So that means my event will be $1,000. My check memo, if it's going to someone specific in that organization, you can go ahead and put attention to, or if you want to just write a quick note, sometimes I'll write donated by Jenna Flynn, ONEHOPE CE. So that's all you need to do there. And then you just hit next. All right. Now here's the part where it's going to be a little bit different for those of you who bought kits with tasting credits. So if you purchased a $39 kit to start, you didn't receive any wine. So you may decide that you want to order wine for your in-home tasting event. Now you can do that in one of two ways. You can either choose to purchase a $99 tasting kit, which is a host kit. And the host kit is a credit for 6 bottles of our Vintner Collection core wine, which is $25 bottles or less. And you will pay $99, include shipping, and you can choose that tasting. And I usually book that for my guests, for my hosts, and I usually choose that wine and have that conversation and what they would like to have. If you have these tasting note cards, it actually tells you in the very first couple cards what they recommend for your 6 bottles of wine. Now, obviously, give or take, depending on how many people you have at that event, you might not need six bottles. The sushi tasting that I'm doing, there's probably only going to be about 2 couples there. So I might pare it down to 3 or 4. So it's really up to you. Now, if this up here said that I had a balance for wine tasting credits, that would mean that I have a free kit that I can then use. So for instance, if you bought a kit with wine, every single person joined with the $39 kit, but then you had an option of joining with wine. You either joined with a 6 bottle kit for $99 or a 12 bottle kit for $199. 6 of those bottles came to you in the mail, and then the other 6 come to you in a tasting credit. Now, that tasting credit can only be redeemed in an in-person event. So you want to make sure that if you want to redeem those other 6 free bottles of wine that you got with your joining kit, that you select in person. So what you're going to do, you'll see balance here would say 1 free wine tasting credit, and you would select that you want to use that tasting credit. Okay. That is the only case here where under order the wine that you would select use your tasting credit. And then you'll be prompted to select the wine after that. Okay. So you can select any bottle that is $25 or less if you have a tasting credit. And if you choose that you want reserve bottles or any other bottles, you just pay the $5 or $10 difference for that bottle. And that wine is still discounted, even if you choose a reserve bottle. So that is very, very cool. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, I need wine for this event. And if I'm doing that, I can select 6 bottles at $99, or maybe if it's a huge event, I want 12 bottles, and that starts at $198. So if it's somebody that is the host is not yourself, or maybe it is, you might need a tasting kit. Now, just to give you a little heads up, the tasting kits do not count toward your PCV, your personal commissionable volume, your sales, your incentives. They don't count towards anything. They're just a discounted kit that a host can get, including yourself, if they're having a tasting. Okay. Now, I do have some guests, some hosts that actually want to order wine, and they want to order it toward their event. So in that case, that would mean that they're ordering as a customer, and they would order through the regular party link that was created at the end of this process, and it would count toward their event. You would get commission back on it, and they would get the customer discounts as well. So both are discounted wines. This does not provide any commission towards you if you're using a free tasting credit. It does not also count towards the donation given back or the party total. If they order toward the party, it will count toward all of those things. So you have to kind of just give your host both of those options and say, do you want it to count towards your party total? You'll get 10% back at the end, and you'll also get to donate to your nonprofit, or would you like to take advantage of the host kit? Okay. And sometimes people will do both. Sometimes they will first use the host kit, and then at their event, they maybe want to replace those wines and order toward their event. So I'm just going to say that no, I do not need wine. And then I'm going to click book event. Okay. So that's as simple as it goes for creating your own event. Now, any of this information, obviously I made up a fake nonprofit and all these different things that I'm not doing. I'm actually doing a sushi and sips tasting on this event, but a different host and a different address. So I can go in and edit that using this little pencil here. If I click on wine, I can always edit that if I need it. Charity, I can always go in and edit that information. Now, when you see the host rewards here, this will not pop up unless the event reaches $500 or more. So you're going to see that the 10% donation here is going to show up once that event reaches 500, and you do have to close the event before this person here gets an email saying how much credit they have toward their wine. So those wine points, the 10% wine points when the party reaches 500 or more, is going to get delivered to their wine reward points, which goes right to their email, and they can redeem those points anytime they want to order. This right here is the guest orders. You can always manually go in and order for someone. So this is a way that you can submit your orders. If you're at an event, you would just take your computer or your phone or your laptop, whatever it is, and click add new order, and you can always do this. This right here is the event page. So this up here is that long link that you see up here at the end. That is what is shareable. So that's what you're going to share with people to actually place the order. Now I'm going to give you a little tip here. In order to make that a little bit shorter of a link, there's an event ID number that's created for every single event, and it's a 6-digit ID number. So what you're going to do is you're going to highlight it, copy it, go to your event page, and you are going to take this part of the event, everything after the /, and you're going to replace it with that 6-digit ID number. So now it's https www.onehopewine.com event, and then the 6-digit ID number. So I hope that makes sense, because it is an easier way to share the event for sure. It's just another way to make it shorter. All right. So that is your in-person event. Now, the other way looks very, very similar. So I am going to go back and just to give you a heads up, your customers can order from this event page. You do not have to go into your back office and place orders that way. You can do them both. Okay. So I'm going to go back and click events. Now you can see sushi and sips tasting popped up. This is going to keep rising as you get orders. And when I go to this 3 dots here at the end of this line, you can actually manage the event, place an order, copy the event link, and do it right there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click create a new event again. So here is the virtual tasting option. So I'm going to click online, and I'm just, again, going to click I am hosting. I am going to create another fundraiser. I am doing a, what am I doing? I am doing a sangria and sips. So I am going to go ahead and do that. And it is going to be Amanda's sangria and sips tasting. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and select the date for that. It's actually going to be June 13th. And the time is going to be, let's see, 7 o'clock. I'm going to hit next. The custom 501c, she wants to donate towards the Laurel House. So I am going to start typing that in, and you can see here that has been updated. All right. Same thing for this one. You're going to put in a donation goal if you want to. And then this is optional. You're going to click next. Now, this is what's different about this option. Works the same way. Order the wine. Will the guest purchase tasting flights? Now, tasting flights is that box that I showed you earlier in the video that has those 4 mini bottles of wine. For every online event or virtual event, I would highly suggest just saying yes for this, because if you select no, then they can't. Okay, not to say you're going to use them, but virtual tasting flight kits can be ordered through any first-time customer or anyone who is ordering through a virtual event. They're not an in-person event thing. So just select yes for that and then click book event. Okay, same process that you're going to go through that you will see. At the end of this, you're actually going to see the same thing is going to pop up right there. And I actually already created Amanda's tasting down here. It's called Sips Happening Before School's Out Wine Tasting. Okay, so a little play on words. So that's how easy creating an event is. Okay, so that's all you're going to do. Now, I wanted to briefly just show you how you go ahead and order. So if I am on my sites, all I have to do, again, is click on that. I can go to guest orders and then click add new order. The other way I can do this is by going to the event and the event page, just like a customer would. The third way I can do this is click these three little dots here in the corner and place order. So this is how easy ordering is. So I'm going to go and place an order for my husband. There he is. Start an order. And all I have to then do, and this is if you want your host to order wine that's not a tasting kit, is just go in through this little magnifying glass, and I'm just searching. So I can type in Brut, and I'm going to select the Vintner Sparkling Brut, and I'm going to click add to cart. At the bottom here, you're going to see these wine bottles will start to get shaded in. So I can search that way by using the magnifying glasses, or I can search by type of wine. So if I would really like to get a rosé, I can click on rosé, and I can click on the actual bottle if I want to learn more about it. I know a lot of you have been looking for wine notes. They're right there, and it describes everything, including the food pairings, the alcohol content, the wine notes. It really tells you everything. It even gives you some ratings that people have made. A little other fun tip, you actually get 10 reward points for every single bottle of wine that you rate on our site. Okay, so that's another way to rack in some points. So you can see all these people have given this wine some awards. Okay, so that is how simple creating an event is, placing an order is. I'm going to go ahead for the sake of showing you. As you get to 4 bottles here, it's going to show you your 5% discount off of 4, 10% off 6, or 20% off of 12. So that's why some hosts like to order through their own parties, because they get to double dip on the customer sale, and they double dip on getting those reward points back and increasing their party total. So we're going to just pretend that we really love rosé, which we do, and we're going to get to 12 bottles. Okay. Our special this month that's going to pop up, get this $55 birthday bundle for 14 cents. So any 12 bottle purchase, you get the Hospitality Pinot Noir and you get the Vintner Pinot Grigio for 14 cents. Now, every month this is going to change. So if you're watching this video and it's not the month of June 2021, that special is going to change. So you would select yes, you want it, no, you don't. Then you're going to select this little cart that's up here in the top right-hand corner. And it's going to ask you if you want to be part of the wine club for free shipping. So the details are right there. It's going to tell you you can pick 4, 6, or 12. You get free shipping every time you order. You pick the frequency, 1, 2, 3, or 4 months, and your subscription is going to automatically ship. And then you get free shipping every order in between those orders as well. So if you'd like to be a part of the wine club, you would select this box and select that information, and you can change your wines in between shipments. If you have reward points, so you're going to see this promo gift card or reward tab. You can see here I have, my husband has $53.50. So he could use that towards his purchase, and he would just add in $53.50 there. And then click apply, and that's going to take that off of the balance. Okay. So that's all you do. And you're going to click checkout and put your address and your credit card in there. So that's why I always say it's best to check out guests at the party to close your sales, not have them take the information home and do it later. Offer them good customer service and do it for them. So that is how easy it is to create an event. And again, all I did to get to that, this is the long version explanation because I wanted to make sure I showed you 2 different options for creating an event. But in all honesty, it takes 5 minutes to do this. So that would be the first thing I would do, is just create your own event. Okay. Because when you're sharing, you want your customers to order through an event link, such as one of these links, not your homepage. So the difference here is my website, onehope.com, my shop, Grateful Giving. That is my customer. That is my website. So if I go to that website, that is not going toward a specific cause. This is my website where people join my team. They can place orders on this site. I will get commission from it, but I will not get to donate to a nonprofit of my own choice. It'll just go towards One Hope causes. So in order to double dip on the donations, you want to make sure that you are selecting to have your customers order through an event link. Okay. It's super, super, super simple to create. And then if they order on this main page, you are also not getting reward points for it. So take advantage of those reward points. That's how I do not pay for my wine. You can see up here, I have 46,590 reward points, which equates to $465 of free wine. And that is from simply creating my own event links. So go ahead, create your own event link, whether it be in person or virtual, and check out the next videos, which will be about those two topics. All right, so I am going to head off and stop sharing this screen and say thank you everybody for watching. And I hope you learned how to create your event links, whether they be virtual or in person. Go party. Bye.